Local realtors offer rebates to help local heroes buy a home. The City of Durango wants voters to reauthorize a sales tax to fund more than $156 million in recreation improvements. And learn how the new continuous flow intersection moves more cars in half the time. You're watching Inside Durango News. I'm Ashley Dixon.
You're watching Inside Durango News, your source for information about Southwest Colorado. Powered by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs.
A proposed $30 million performing arts and sciences complex received a significant boost after the Colorado Department of Local Affairs awarded the STEAM project a $75,000 grant to conduct a feasibility study. But the money isn't in the bank just yet. The Department of Local Affairs requires proponents of the project to match the grant dollar for dollar, and they're now in the process of raising the funds through public and private donations. The total, $150,000, will be used to conduct a feasibility study to determine whether the community really needs or whether it can really afford the proposed complex. Terry Bacon, co-chair of the STEAM Project Coordinating Committee, told Inside Durango News that the feasibility study will determine the project's viability, how much space would be needed, and if the Durango residential and tourist population could support the STEAM park economically. STEAM stands for Science, Theater, Education, Arts, and Music, and the project's proponents believe the Arts and Sciences complex would revitalize the riverfront between 9th and 13th Street. The area currently is occupied by Backcountry Experience on the south, River City Hall, and the Powerhouse Science Center to the north. Architect Rick Feeney's conceptual rendition of the dual indoor and outdoor complex includes an amphitheater, shared office and classrooms. Patrons can access the area by car from Camino del Rio or by foot on the Animas River Trail. Bacon added that the 200 to 300 seat concert hall is in the works, but stressed that it wouldn't rival the 600 seat community concert hall at Fort Lewis College. If proven feasible, the complex will force the city to relocate River City Hall, and Bacon said the Durango Fire and Rescue Authority has expressed support in moving their station. The Durango Arts Center and Powerhouse Science Center are the major partners in the project. Other local nonprofits have thrown in their support, including the San Juan Symphony, the Durango Independent Film Festival, and Music in the Mountains. Bacon said the STEAM complex is expected to generate additional tourism revenues from visitors as well as create local jobs. For more information, visit the Durango Arts Center website at durangoarts.org. 4 real estate professionals want to make it easier for local heroes to buy homes here in La Plata County. Don Ferris, Thatcher Leavenworth, Steve Sitka, and Ralph Janich with Keller Williams Southwest Associates have agreed to donate 25% of their commissions as rebates or credits when a hero buys a home or refinances a home. Their donations are part of a nationwide program called the Heroes Home Advantage. Heroes Home Advantage is a national network of realtors, lenders, attorneys, home inspectors, title companies, and others in the housing profession that want to support the people who protect, serve, and care for the country and their communities. Keller Williams joined the network about 60 days ago.
We are the first group of realtors in the state of Colorado that became a part of this program. There's now 2 offices in Colorado. We handle La Plata, Montezuma, and Archuleta counties. And what we're doing is we as brokers are giving 25% commission discounts or rebates to buyers or sellers that qualify in the program as heroes. And our definition of heroes are firefighters, policemen, military. These can be active or retired, school teachers, first responders, and health providers. And we also have other services. For example, we have a lender that's giving discounts. We have property inspectors that will give discounts. All of these for these heroes to save them money in the purchase or sale of their homes.
Ferris, Leavenworth, Sitka, and Janus are personally donating 25% of their share of the commission on sales to qualifying participants. For a house valued at $200,000, that could mean rebates up to $5,000, they said. Ferris added that the discounts will be credited at closing. In Colorado, realtors are not allowed to give cash back to participants in a real estate transaction. If you're interested in taking advantage of the new program, contact Don Ferris at Keller Williams. After the break, how the annual Durango Fiesta Days got its name and how driving the new continuous flow intersection will cut your drive time in half.
One of the things that we promise every guest at Durango Motor Company is one low price, plain and simple, always.
They can just come in, select the vehicle that they want, and already know the price up front.
Our salespeople here at Durango Motor Company are not paid on commission. Our guys and gals are actually paid on guest satisfaction.
So it doesn't matter if you're purchasing a car that's $4,000 or $70,000, their main interest is finding the car that's right for you.
At Alpine Bank, we are making connections and partnering with those in our community. We are creating and developing strong relationships and using a hands-on approach with our friends and customers. At Alpine Bank, we're sharing life every step of the way. Together, we're moving beyond banking. Alpine Bank. Experience the difference. Conveniently located in downtown Durango and Three Springs.
This is the story of a company that has its roots in Southwest Colorado. A story about two college friends who founded a local business, of their families and the families of their staff, and of generations to come. It's about the concerns we hold, the passions we share, and the bonds that unite us. We are the Wells Group, and for 3 decades, we've been proud to be a part of the Southwest Colorado community.
Welcome back. You're watching Inside Durango News. I'm Ashley Dixon. The 79th Annual Durango Fiesta Days breaks out of the starting gate on July 19th with events in and around town to celebrate this year's theme, Look to the Past to See the Future. At 79 years of age, Durango Fiesta Days is the longest-running celebration in La Plata County. But Old Fastern Western Celebration hasn't always been called Durango Fiesta Days. In fact, the various name changes over the years have reflected the changing times and the way Durango has marketed itself to tourists. Organized in 1935 as the Spanish Trails Fiesta, the celebration commemorated the famous history of the Old Spanish Trail and celebrated the area's cultures, from the Ute and Navajo nations to the Spanish explorers to the cowboys and pioneers who later settled in the area. The Old Spanish Trail was the name of the route that connected Santa Fe, New Mexico to Los Angeles, California. It was used by Spanish explorers as early as the 1500s. It later became a major east-west route used extensively by pack trains in the mid-1800s. As the Fiesta's organization and committees changed throughout the years, so did its name. In 1966, the Spanish Trails Fiesta was renamed the Navajo Trail Fiesta. The name took advantage of the recently designated Navajo Trail Highway that stretched from La Junta, Colorado to the Four Corners. The Navajo Trail Association was formed in June 1933 from communities along what is now U.S. Highway 160. They wanted to pressure the Colorado Department of Transportation to upgrade a series of local roads into one highway. In 1946, the association was reformed to include additional towns in the Four Corners to encourage the Bureau of Indian Affairs to build a road from Tuba City, Arizona to Shiprock, New Mexico, in hopes that the road would eventually link Route 66. They believed the connection would draw more tourists into the Four Corners from California. In the 1950s, the Atomic Energy Commission began construction on the Navajo Trail to access the uranium reserves on the reservation. And finally, President John F. Kennedy set aside $70 million in 1964 to finish the last section of the road. In 1962, the U.S. Department of Transportation dedicated the series of interconnecting roads as a national highway and named it the Navajo Trail. It eventually replaced the Old Spanish Trail name. The Navajo Trail Association continued as a marketing organization to attract tourists to Southwest Colorado. It extended from La Junta, Colorado, through Durango, Cortez, the Four Corners, and into Arizona to connect Monument Valley, the Grand Canyon, Prescott, Arizona, and other attractions to Los Angeles. The Navajo Trail faded into memory with the formal designation of U.S. Highway 160 in 1970. The Navajo Trail Fiesta was renamed once more to Durango Fiesta Days in 1986. But the intention of the organizers hasn't changed, and that's to celebrate the history, cultures, and heritages of the Old West. The highlight of the festivities includes the annual parade on Main Avenue on July 26th, several days of rodeo competitions starting on July 23rd, a chuck wagon cook-off, a pancake breakfast, cowboy church, and much, much more. The rodeo, the festival's largest draw, incorporates many novelty acts and entertainment for spectators. Formerly sanctioned by the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, the event is now sanctioned by the Grand Canyon Pro Rodeo Association and is co-sanctioned by the New Mexico Rodeo Association, the Armed Forces Rodeo Association, and the Colorado Pro Rodeo Association. For more information and for a full lineup of events, visit DurangoFiestaDays.com. The City of Durango plans to ask voters to reauthorize a half-cent sales tax in 2015 so that it continue to make improvements to the city's parks, recreational facilities, open space and trail systems during the next 20 years. In 2010, the City of Durango adopted the Parks, Open Space, Trails, and Recreation Master Plan. It identified more than $219 million in improvements, including $16 million for trail improvements and additions, $4.3 million for river access improvements from Oxbow to Dalabetta Parks, $13.8 million to purchase new neighborhood parks and improve playground equipment, $5.6 million for Lake Nighthorse improvements, $3.6 million for Chapman Hill skiing and bike park additions, and plenty more. In 1999, voters approved a half-cent sales tax to build the existing recreation center and improve the Animas River Trail system. The city used the revenues, along with other grants, to make $15 million in improvements on the Animas River Trail. It also spent $20 million to pay off the construction bond on the rec center and to support capital improvements and operations cost. The City of Durango has had to subsidize rec center operations by nearly $3.5 million. The rec center's construction bill will be paid off by 2019. Voters also approved a quarter-cent sales tax in 2005 to purchase and maintain new open space, parks, and trails. The quarter-cent sales tax will sunset in 2026. It's expected to generate $27 million between 2015 and 2026. It's the half-cent sales tax authorized in 1999 that the city wants to renew now for another 20 years. The half-cent sales tax sunsets in 2019, and without it, most of the improvements outlined in the Parks and Recreation Master Plan will be impossible to fulfill, according to a report prepared by the Department of Parks and Recreation. Rather than wait until 2019 to reauthorize the tax, the Department of Parks and Recreation wants to have the voters renew the tax in 2015. That way, if it fails, the city will have several more years to come up with an alternative that will meet voter approval. Right now, city residents pay about a third of the revenues from the half-cent sales tax, county residents pay a third, and visitors pay a third. For more information about the proposed tax reauthorization, visit the Parks and Recreation website at durangogov.com. After weeks of long traffic delays at the Doubletree intersection of U.S. Highways 550 and 160, you can now breeze through the continuous flow intersection at half the time it used to take before construction. But be aware, the intersection includes 2 new lights for north and southbound traffic. If you drive the speed limit, they'll both turn green and let you through. If you drive fast, you'll most likely get a red light and have to stop. The westbound bypass at the intersection was opened late in June, and it has reduced the wait time for a traffic light from a little more than 2 minutes to 70 seconds, according to Colorado Department of Transportation traffic engineer Michael McVaugh. Before construction, cars had to wait through 3 traffic light cycles to proceed through the intersection. McVaugh recently took Inside Durango News on a tour of the new intersection.
So you move over into your left turn lane, and then you come around the curve. And there's another set of signs up there, and this one actually gives kind of lane designations where it says the through lanes will be for 550 and the left turn lane, and as we come up here you'll see the sign, the left turn lane says west 160 left only, and that's kind of your 3-lane designation that you're coming up to right now. And so you get this left turn movement, you come across into this, and you have the turn arrows up ahead here. And essentially you're going to wait your turn, and this is where you're only having to wait as much as 70 seconds. A lot of times you won't even have to wait that long, just like we're seeing right now. So you go up through this intersection, do your crossover. That's what we affectionately call this, is the crossover. You cross on over. You have a nice barrier protecting you from the opposing direction of traffic. And you'll come up here, and we have it coordinated to the point that most of the time you will get this green arrow. There may be a time or two where you may have to stop and wait, but so far we've been pretty successful to get most people through here in one move.
You can expect a few more traffic delays as crews finish up work on additional barriers and medians through mid-July. For more information about the project, visit colorado.dot.info. The newly constructed intersection at the Doubletree Inn will require drivers to pay a little bit more attention. Put your cell phone down and don't try to text while driving. After the break, we'll tell you why.
If you love Durango, grab this edition of Durango Magazine today. Explore Durango's vibrant art scene in a nearby city that disappeared. Discover what's happening on the Animas River and what Durango families do for fun with their kids. Dining guide and Durango's dream homes too. Captivating stories, award-winning design, and stunning local photography. Durango Magazine, serving people who love Durango since 1986. By mail, your hotel room, free racks all around town, and at Magpie's newsstand.
Welcome to the Irish Embassy Pub Durango. We import the majority of our products straight from the Emerald Isle, and let's get it right. You want your Guinness directly imported from Dublin. You want it stored at precisely the right temperature. And you want the pour to be a matter of taste and science. You want a pull with the patience and precision that it deserves. And if that wasn't authentic enough, you want to enjoy it in a pub where the shelves are stocked with 24 different kinds of Irish whiskey. Yes, you want the true Irish experience. Come visit us at the Irish Embassy Pub Durango.
Experience the heritage of the Old West. It's the new and exciting True West Rodeo in Durango every other Wednesday throughout the summer at La Plata County Fairgrounds. Cheer real cowboys and cowgirls as they test their mettle with bronc busting, bull riding, barrel racing, and more. Authentic Western halftime shows, Native American dancers, Wild West gunfights, and special performances honoring military and emergency response personnel. Visit TrueWestRodeo.com for ticket and schedule information.
Welcome back to Inside Durango News. I'm Ashley Dixon. Distracted driving. It's when you try to text your buddy or call your friend or put on makeup while you're driving down the road. And it accounts for more accidents than any other causes, even drunk driving. We assigned Inside Durango TV intern Scotty Smith to learn about the dangers of distracted driving with Colorado State Patrol Master Trooper Doug Wiersma. See what he found out next. Then stay tuned for our visit with Charles Leslie, director of the Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College, about the concerts lined up for the 2014-2015 season.
Distracted driving is our number 4 cause of fatal and injury crashes here in Southwest Colorado. The number 1 cause is speed-related accidents, mainly caused by people sliding off the road in the wintertime. The number 2 cause of accidents would be lane violations. Number 3 cause would be alcohol caused crashes, and number 4 would be distracted driving causes. When you take that number 2 cause, which is lane violations, we strongly believe that most of those lane violations are caused by distracted driving. So if you take that into account, if that was the truth, which we believe it is, then distracted driving would actually be our number 1 cause of crashes here in Southwest Colorado. Motor vehicle crashes nationwide and here in Colorado are our number 5 cause of deaths for people. They're behind things that are medically caused, like heart conditions and lung conditions and things like that. Anywhere from 0 on up to about 30 years old, motor vehicle deaths jump to the number 1 spot. That's the number 1 cause of people within that age group. Because of youth and the use of cell phones and things like that, distracted driving is a very high cause of injury and death in that age category. What we have here is a computer-based driving simulator, and this is a driving simulator that we take to programs here throughout Southwest Colorado. We take it to schools, we take it to businesses that are doing maybe a safety program for their employees. This is simply a means by which we can take that driving experience and bring it into a classroom situation to kind of drive home the points that we're trying to make. When we ask somebody to keep their eyes on the road, but reach over and grab something out of a backpack or a purse, almost always what will happen is, as soon as their hand drifts over to that backpack or to that telephone, the car goes in that direction as well. Even though their eyes are focused on the road, where do you think your mind is going at the time that you're reaching down here?
Yeah, it almost cut your mind in half.
The mind is not capable of multitasking. We hear this term multitasking a lot, that we can do 2 things at one time. Mind is not capable of doing 2 things at once. Some people are better at toggling back and forth between 2 different activities, but your mind can only focus on 1 thing at a time. We like to compare driving to distances. When you're talking about how far a car goes at a given speed, the easiest way to think about it is, imagine yourself driving out here on Highway 160. The speed limit along most of Highway 160 is about 60 miles an hour. When you're driving 60 miles an hour, you're traveling about 88 feet per second. They've done a lot of studies on cell phone use, and when you pick up your cell phone And when you do something just as simple as dialing a phone number, not texting or anything like that, on average that takes us about 4 to 4.5 seconds to do. If you were to add that to that 88 feet per second, that means in the time that it takes you to pick up a telephone and dial a number, you've traveled more than the length of a football field with your eyes off the road. Even if there's not a car ahead of you, during that 4.5 seconds, a deer, anything could jump out in front of you. A little kid on a driveway or on a cross street can be crossing the street on his bicycle. And so one of the things that we like to tell people is and it's kind of a graphic illustration but we have people pull out their telephone, and if you just do that and look at the last number that you dialed on your telephone and ask yourself, was this phone call that I made worth a life?
Wow, no phone call is worth someone else's life, especially your own. If you'd like Master Trooper Doug Wiersma to give you a demonstration for your employees, contact the Colorado State Patrol. On a lighter note, we have Charles Leslie with the Fort Lewis College Concert Hall here in our studio, and I am looking at a massive calendar for your upcoming 2014-15 season, so that's got to be a good thing.
That's right. We just put 25 shows on sale from August 13th all the way through May of 2015. So yeah, very, very busy, big season for us.
And what I love about up at the concert hall is you guys kind of go all over the musical map, so to speak. You got a little bit of something for everyone. So I know it's a big season coming up. What are some of the shows that you're most excited about?
Well, we have Paula Poundstone, who is a comedian. She'll be here in August.
I like her. She's snarky.
She is, and she's smart, and she's totally ad-lib, so
yeah.
It's really, you never get the same thing twice. In September, we have a band called Hot Rise, and Hot Rise, for those who are bluegrass fans, will know Hot Rise because they play most of the major bluegrass festivals. They get together once or twice a year at most, but they're doing a Colorado tour, and they kick it off in Durango. So
well, how appropriate, a bluegrass town.
Well, it does help.
It does help. Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys, and then I see the American Led Zeppelin tribute band. That I think is going to be another popular
Get the
one
Lead Out is what
Durango.
they're called. And Get the Lead Out is a Led Zeppelin tribute band. They've been touring for a while. This is their first stop in this part of the country ever. Their guitar player about 3 months ago was featured on Guitar Player magazine's cover.
Oh.
So their whole deal is that they're reproducing Led Zeppelin albums like they were played on the album. So you're not getting an interpretation, you're not getting a jam session, you're getting, if you like, Houses of the Holy or whatever it is you like about their music, you're going to get that that piece of music.
So good for the kids that maybe didn't experience them on vinyl. It's a good time to get reacquainted with them.
Yeah.
Nice. So what about some other things looking forward into the future?
Well, I'm really excited about Suzanne Vega. Suzanne Vega was a major pop star in the 90s, and she kind of tours every now and then, and we were really lucky to get her back. She wrote
Tom's Diner.
Tom's Diner, right. Which was,
and when you hear it, you immediately know what song that is.
That's right. You knew it right off the bat, didn't you?
Yeah.
So she's really important in kind of that singer-songwriter scene that grew. And then another artist kind of in the same vein is Shelby Lynn, except Shelby Lynn takes it to the next level. She's kind of a blues singer and has a great guitar player in her band.
Grammy Award winner as well.
Huge Grammy Award winner. She wrote an album called I'm Shelby Lynn, which got a lot of play and still creates a lot of buzz when she comes to town. So
nice.
Really excited about her coming. Another great artist that we've got coming is John Hammond with Charlie Musselwhite. Charlie Musselwhite is probably the premier harmonica blues player out there.
Oh, love it.
And has just won a Grammy this year. He's won, I think, 5 blues awards over the years. And John Hammond is a blues guitar player who sings. He'll do a solo set, then Charlie Musselwhite and his band will play, and then they'll both come out later. It's called the Blues Hall of Fame Tour.
Nice.
So that's pretty exciting. And this is a blues town as well as a bluegrass town. So
and it's just so cool to think, a lot of people think Durango's off the beaten path, and to hear that Grammy Award-winning artists are coming to the concert hall, I mean, these are things you don't want to miss.
Well, like you said, we're very eclectic. We try to meet a lot of tastes because Durango's made up of a very eclectic group of people, pretty diverse in tastes in music and art
definitely.
and that sort of thing. So, we have the well-known people like Big Bad Voodoo Daddy who are coming for Christmas. They do a Christmas show along with Christmas music. They do a lot of their hits and a lot of swing music, and it's a dance show. We have the dance floor open, and people go crazy for that. And then we turn around and we have Loudon Wainwright III. And Loudon Wainwright's a singer-songwriter who has been playing since the early Greenwich Village days in the 60s. So,
Nice.
it's a really interesting spectrum.
It's awesome. And the concert hall is such a great place to go see a show. The acoustics are amazing. You've got concessions right there. So for people who want more information, I mean, if it would take us an hour to talk about all of the shows that you have coming up this season. For people who want to get more information and also where they can buy tickets, where's a good place to go?
Right, go to DurangoConcerts.com. Or you can go to the Downtown Welcome Center here in Durango at 8th and Main. We're open from 10 to 6 every day except for Sunday. And then you can call our 24-hour hotline, which is 970-247-7657. Nice. So there's no way you can miss getting a ticket.
Exactly. And so the biggest issue is going to be looking at the schedule and deciding which ones you want to go to.
Well, it is, but if you buy 3 shows at one time or more than 3 shows, you get 10% off your total purchase. So,
I'm into package deals like that. So
yeah,
we
like that. And that allows you to build the package the way you like it.
Very
you don't have to
nice.
wait on somebody else.
All right, so go check out the Concerts Hall season schedule. Buy your tickets in advance. That's a great way to plan out the rest of your summer and the rest of your year. So that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thanks for joining us. And that's it for this week's edition of Inside Durango News. For your community updates and a calendar of events, you can check out what'shappeningdurango.com. Post your free event today and join the one-stop, easy-to-use events calendar for Durango. We're going to leave you with a little taste of 4th of July fireworks display from Durango and Silverton, so hope you enjoy. I'm Ashley Dixon. Thanks for watching Inside Durango News, and remember, keep watching. You'll like what you see.
Tune in weekly to watch Inside Durango News, your source for what's going on in Southwest Colorado. Powered by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs. You can watch Inside Durango News anytime at durangotv.com.